Greetings all, welcome back to the shed. So we are going to try and turn this cereal box into a side mount, and yeah, so I think on the last one I said that's where I'm planning to go with it. I may add somewhere on here, I've got like a little LED number plate light. It's kind of hard to work out actually if it is a legal requirement. I know I was chatting to John on the comments of the last video. Hell, I'm just going to stick a number plate light in there. The easiest thing would be probably to buy another one, or you get away with one and use them as the bolt mounts for the number plate. The reason I'm not going to do that, and it might not work, but I want to have like a completely separate bit on here, like a little nubbing bit out with the number plate bolt sat there, is because I don't ride with a MOT friendly number plate. It's not ridiculously illegal, but what it does mean is that come MOT time I just like to quickly stick it on and off the great big fence panel plate, and then for show plate circumstances I can put the smaller plate back on. So yeah, so it is going to be separate to that. But yeah, I'll have a little look through the scrap aluminium, work out also where I'm going to put an extra little number plate light. I might just knock this up and see if it works. Right then, there we go. So I didn't film that bit, just folding and cutting a bit of aluminium, because I've kind of been doing that, a lot of that, so I didn't think you'd find it interesting. Do tell me if I'm wrong, but regardless, there we go, it's done. So I opted for this little nubbin down here for the, I haven't tightened it up yet, but that's where the number plate light will go and shine its illumination thusly. And so I've mounted it on the inside there, and that just brings it in. Still got a bit of space, and if I need to get a bigger tyre one day, then that's okay. But I think it tucks it in quite nicely. It doesn't stick out any further than the handlebars or the foot pegs even, actually. Certainly with that size plate on. The only thing, I wanted to make it all out of one piece. The only thing that, can you see that, or is that too dark? The only thing that I am obviously slightly concerned about, because I'm hanging down here, this is the thickest sheet aluminium I had, and I think it's a bit too flimsy. Well, it's not flimsy, I mean that's quite a solid structure, but see, that's rattling more because that's not tightened up, but there is a little bit of flex in there, so I might have to beef it up. I'm gonna try, and she's a bit of a shame. It'd be nice to all be one piece. That might be a bit thick, but I'll have a little look. I might have to just do an extra little support strut down there. I don't really want to. If I made that shorter, I'd reduce the amount of flex in it, but I don't really want to bring that up any higher, because obviously an indicator is going to go somewhere around here. So let's have a look through the scrap metal. Right, it's a little bit of drilling and shaping later. So we got this, hopefully disappear quite nicely there. Oops. There's a little bit of a brace. So just do a quick test fit, see how much it reduces the springage, and then that'll be held there. We'll probably maybe tap a couple of countersunk screws in here just to hold it in place. Right. So just got to leave them to dry really now. Then we'll reassemble. And then yes, I might have just put in. I'm pretty sure I'm sticking with those bars. I'm like 98.9% sure it's going to be those. But whilst I'm doing bits and I was waiting between coats to dry, I've chopped those, taken 1.5 inches off the ends of these just to narrow them. They were too wide, and just in case. But I mean, I love these handlebars and they are great, but part of me does think there's quite a lot of bikes that have those on, so this is a little bit different as well, and I do like that riding position. So yes. Right, mounted up, there we go. Paint all dried. Happy days, another thing checked off the list. I'll pop the number plate on as well now. There we go, and with the plate on, just stuck some tape over the letters, even though you could probably go back through some of these videos and see what the number plate is, but this is for some other pictures as well which are going on other platforms, so might as well cover up the number plate a little bit. God knows what good it will do, but yes, quite happy with that. So continuing on with the theme, so we've got like kind of the number plate and the number plate light done. I'm feeling let's carry on with some lights, so it won't be all in this video, but as I said, headlight, something's arrived for that, and I have made a decision and ordered some indicator and the brake light arrangements, which I've only just ordered today, so they won't come for a bit. But let's have a look at the headlight, because I'm getting a step closer towards how I'm going to mount that and what I'm going to use. So I've got these high-sider fork clamps that I think I'm going to utilise, and they just obviously just clamp on to your fork leg, and then you've got this kind of bit that they pivot so you don't have to drop the fork leg. They just clamp round it, and then you can make, well, I think they originally do like a headlight attachment thing with some little mounting attachments here for the headlight. I'm gonna have to make my own up because I haven't got any of those. I've just got these clamps, so that's probably how I'm gonna fix it on there. That's the bench. Right, so I've gone back to, although it's kind of modern-y looking, I'm going back to this one just because I think I can probably, with those little clamps as well, I can sit that quite close into the fork legs. It's very bright, it's very low profile, and I've got it. I haven't got to spend anything, so for the time being this is going to be the headlight I use. But as we said on a previous video, I think I need to find a way of mounting it, so I don't really want to drill into this because I don't think I've got enough meat, and I don't really know what's behind it. I don't want to damage anything, I can't take it apart, it seems to be quite a sealed unit. So I was going to just talking to Yankee Doodle, and I was going to get a big old chunk of aluminium. Maybe I've got a disc. I think there's a previous way back when video that I did for, I was going to make like one of those kind of number plate mask things for the headlight for the America, and I think I cut it out, and I had a hole saw big enough to cut that, so I was going to cut that out. I'd probably have to cut the outer ring by hand, and then maybe have like a sort of a pinch clamp here, and I could maybe bottom mount it or something like that. So I was thinking about doing something along those lines, working it out, something that would clamp around here. And then I got this. So I found this on eBay kind of purely by chance, because I wouldn't know really that A, you could buy them, and two, what I would call it. But it is basically a aluminium, and it's quite beefy. Excuse me, it's quite beefy. Chinese special, obviously, but this came from China. This was 9 quid delivered. Sorry, 11 quid delivered from China. It got here in about 5 days, I think it was. And it's like a trim surround. So that, what that does then, you've got 2 grub screws in here. That just drops over the top, actually dresses it up quite nicely, and then a couple of grub screws which you tighten in there, and that, even that on its own, is surprisingly quite sturdily mounted. I'm obviously going to change these. I don't even know if these are stainless. This is A2, so they might even be stainless, but I can, yeah, they're not very nice. I'll get something nicer than that. So these will mount onto the, obviously like a normal side mounted headlight, and they'll have to make up some sort of bracketry to attach this to those clamps, and that'll be in the next video. I'm going to probably swap these grub screws out because they are mild steel. And put some different bolts in. I might actually drill and tab up here and have 2 more mounting points, and I think that's going to do. I think that's going to, I'm quite comfortable with that, holding that. I did wonder about just slightly drilling and tapping into the actual headlight itself, so these would just catch in there as a little bit more securely, but I mean, really, I reckon if I do 2 more up there, that might even be overkill. I think we're going to be okay. The only reason I am going to put 2 more is so I can really centralise that, because obviously as you tighten those 2, it just pushes it out of round a little bit. But yeah, there we go. That is how we're going to mount the headlight. So the fine tuning of that will probably be the next video. I better get this one edited and uploaded. Try and get a rough idea. So let's work out where all my cables are going to sit, but that will sit in quite. I'm trying to do all this one-handed. I'll probably sit in lower than that. Quite low profile. Yeah, I reckon we'll make that work. So there we go. That's the end of that video. I shall crack on in the next one with the headlight and the mounting of that, and hopefully that'll be successful. Fingers crossed it won't be too long until the indicators and the brake lights turn up, and you can see what we've got planned for that, and we are one step closer to it being finished. So thank you ever so much for watching. Take it easy and see you next time.